We'll go ahead and get started. We are 1 minute past time, so I want to be respectful of your time and get everything in that we want to talk about. So welcome everyone to our webinar on the online distance learning program for LSU Online and Continuing Education. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the program and how the courses work and how the what all the different kinds of offerings that we have. So I am Erica Daigle. I'm the Academic Technology Specialist for LSU Online and Continuing Education. And leading the webinar will be my colleague, Donald, and he'll introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Donald Beal. I'm Director of LSU Online Distance Learning. And I'm going to talk today about our program. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to cover the program in 3 ways. First, I want to talk about what we offer in terms of courses, as well as some other credentials that can be earned through our program. Second, we're going to explain the basics of how the program works, including registration and how the courses operate. And then finally, we'll suggest some of the benefits that we think our program can provide and why you might take an ODL course.
And Donald, before you start on this slide,
Yes.
Can I just say that I will be monitoring the Q&A window. So if you do have any questions for us, please type them in there and I'll see them pop up, and then we'll have some time at the end to go over your questions. So take it away, Donald.
Thanks. Okay, to start, what does ODL offer? We offer courses, we offer microcredit programs, we have an accounting certificate, and we offer qualified instructors in our program. So first and foremost, we do offer individual college courses. The courses we offer are basically sections of courses that are part of the LSU catalog of courses. They're the same as the courses that are offered on campus. They earn the same credit, and they will appear on a regular LSU transcript. But of course, our offerings have been designed specifically to be offered in our online format. Even so, as I said, they cover the same material and meet the same catalog requirements as the campus offerings. This is much the same as having different sections taught by different faculty members or in different semesters on campus. Different faculty members may present the same material in different ways or use different textbooks, but the essence is the same, and that's going to be true of our courses as well. We do offer a handful of microcred programs. A microcred or a microcredential is a series of related courses to provide an expertise or a set of skills in one sort of specialty topic. Most of our microcredits require passing a sequence of 3 courses, although a couple require only 2 courses. Students who complete the microcred will earn a digital badge, which the student can then display online to verify that they've accomplished this credential. And of course, the individual courses in the microcred do appear on their LSU transcript, although the microcred does not. We do offer one certificate program. That's an accounting certificate, and requires completing 5 courses, 3 credits each. And as I said, we offer qualified instructors. I should note one thing that our program does not offer is degrees. LSU does offer online degrees through another program called LSU Online, but our program, which is a separate program, our mission is to provide individual courses and shorter credentials. So let me talk a little bit more about the courses that we offer. We offer courses across the major colleges, the major disciplines, including business, math, humanities, social sciences, education science, and engineering. Many of our courses count towards general education credits at LSU. So this is a big draw for many people to get their gen ed courses. We have several areas where we have significant offerings. For example, we have 13 courses in English, we have 10 courses in accounting, we have 11 courses in math, and many, many other courses. And I'm just going to take a moment to switch over and show you a little bit about our course offerings on our website. If you go to our website, Online Distance Learning, which is at online.lsu.edu, you can look at our online courses. And as I've just mentioned, you'll see here we have the courses broken up into the various areas if you're looking for a specific group of subjects, but also there's a link at the end here to view all courses. And then when you look at that, it takes you to our online catalog. So it looks a little different from our website, but you can pick any a course, and for example, I'll pick this one, Accounting 4235, which is fraud auditing. And you go in and you get more detail about the course, information about tuition. There's a link to a syllabus if you want to look at the syllabus before you enter. Add to cart if you decide that you want to register for the course. So that's a quick look at how we list our courses in on our website. And now if I can go back to the program here and go ahead and move on. We have some microcred programs, and these are the current offerings we have in the microcred program. We have 3 microcreds in accounting, behavioral health, which is courses related to clinical psychology, abnormal psychology, childhood learning and behavior, children's literature. We have a construction technology management, as well as an introductory construction management, microcred, marketing fundamentals, and technical writing. Again, if you go to our website and go to the microcred section, you'll see much more detail about what each of those offerings is. The accounting certificate is the only certificate program we have. It's a little more extensive than the microcreds because it's 5 courses, 3 credits each. And I should mention that the microcreds actually stack to the certificate. If you took, for example, well, not for example, but specifically, if you took the Fundamentals in Accounting microcred and the Accounting Advanced Topics microcred, you would have 2 microcreds. You would get a digital badge for each of those. And then you would only have to take 1 more course in order to earn the certificate. So you can actually make progress in that way. Our instructors for these courses have to meet the same qualifications as instructors on campus. The faculty members who teach at LSU have to meet the credentials requirements set up by our accrediting body, which is the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission, Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. At a minimum, instructors have to have a master's degree and at least 18 graduate credit hours in the area taught. Most of our instructors actually come from the regular LSU faculty. For example, all of our accounting courses are taught by faculty members who teach full-time in the accounting department. Most of the faculty actually have PhDs. Many of them have additional specialized or professional credentials. For example, again, going back to accounting, our instructors in accounting all have their CPA in addition to their advanced degrees. In fact, many of our people have special professional credentials. The course in accounting for government and nonprofit organizations that we offer is actually taught by the Vice President for Accounting Services at LSU. So she's in charge of accounting at LSU. She has all the necessary credentials to teach, but in addition, she's actually practices in the area of governmental accounting. Another example, we have a local neuropsychologist who teaches one of our psychology courses. So the instructors for our courses are qualified just the same as those on campus. Now I want to move on and talk briefly about how our courses work. Our courses are set up in Moodle. And again, I'm going to take a brief break from this presentation and show very quickly the, give you an actual look at an actual course. Okay, so here's the course, Marketing 4440, which is digital marketing. And so you see in Moodle, this is the initial course page. And this course is broken up into, it looks like 15 modules, which is pretty typical. That's similar to having a 15-week semester and a couple of exams. So when the student goes in and starts to work, everything the student needs is in each module, except for possibly a textbook, if the course requires a textbook. So you'll see the instructions here that show the students what they need to do to complete this module. There are learning objectives. Every module has a set of learning objectives to start. This module has a video lecture and a PowerPoint, a reading assignment, there's video, there's an assignment including a quiz that is an interactive quiz that's right here in Moodle. There's an opportunity for question and answer forum, and then moving on to the next section. Our courses are self-paced. Now, what exactly does that mean? We don't run our courses in this program according to a term or semester. We give you 6 months to complete the course from the day that you register. So when you sign up, you can start that day and you have 6 months to complete the course and work at your own pace. You can work quickly through and finish the course almost as quickly as you like. We do have a requirement that students be registered at least 3 weeks before they take the final exam. Or you can take your time and pace things out and take the full 6 months. As long as you get all the work done and completed by the end of the 6 months, you'll be in good shape. Each course has proctored exams. Usually it's 2 exams, a mid-course and a final exam. And what this means is you have to register with a proctoring service. Most courses in our program, we use ProctorU. And you schedule the exam yourself and sign up and take the exam. As long as you've done the modules up to that exam, you're free to take the exam when you're ready, and you do it through that proctoring service. There is an opportunity for an extension. If 6 months doesn't quite make it, we do allow 1-2 month extension in our courses for those people who need it. Our policies are all online. We have, they're pretty basic kinds of policies that you would expect. When you register for the course, well, you can read over the policies beforehand since they're posted on our website. But the most obvious ones involve, for example, exam procedures that you do have to use the proctoring service, and what you're allowed to have or not have when you're taking the exam. There's a grading policy which basically indicates that the instructor is responsible for grading, and the LSU uses a plus minus grading system, and so your grade on your transcript will be a plus or minus grade if that is where your grade falls. Students often will want to know the refund policy. There's a refund policy posted there. So that type of thing is all available on our website. How does registration work? Who can take our courses? First of all, basically almost anybody can take our courses. You do not have to be enrolled as an LSU student. We have students from all over the world, most of whom are taking courses at other institutions and working on a degree at another institution, who for one reason or another have chosen to take a course or two with us. You also do not have to be a Louisiana resident. Needless to say, you do need to be prepared to do college level work. We expect students to meet the prerequisites for the course if there are any. Some of the advanced courses have some prerequisites. And in most cases, obviously, you should have a high school degree or equivalent. We will allow advanced high school students to register for some courses with the approval of their principal or counselor. The registration process itself is very simple, and basically you saw that a moment ago when I was on the website, where you basically can go in and select the course you want, add it to your cart, and once you pay, you're registered. Now, I do want to say something about student support because it's also part of our program. We have a support team that's ready to help you and answer your questions. Now, that team, if you'll bear with me a moment, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about again. Find the right. I'm sorry, took me a minute to find the right window. Okay, learner support. We have within our group, we have enrollment specialists, and these people, if you need assistance in registering, or if you have questions that you'd like to ask before you actually register, these staff members can help you with that. You can contact them by email or by telephone, and they'll answer your questions, and they'll even walk you through the registration process if you have any difficulties with that. There's a coordinator for support and what we call learner specialists. And these people, the online distance learning specialists, are here to help you once you're registered in the course. So if you have any problems, difficulties with your Moodle course, or you just have some questions maybe about getting your transcript or whatever it is, you can contact these people. Now, obviously, you also have your instructor, and anything that is related to the course content itself, you can contact your instructor and get support from your instructor on the course content, just as you would in a normal course on campus. But if you're having, if you have questions or difficulties in terms of the way the program works or questions about that, you can contact our office and talk to the learner specialist. So that's an important aspect of our program is the support that we do offer. You're not in this alone. Okay, as I said before, I wanted to mention a little bit about the benefits of our program and basically why you might want to take an ODL course. And as I already mentioned, LSU enrollment is not required. We do have some students at LSU who take our courses, but the vast majority of them are taking the courses from elsewhere. Our courses do provide college credit, and so the vast majority of our students are taking a course or two from us with the intention of transferring the credit to their own institution. Why might you do that? Scheduling gaps at your own campus, an opportunity to try to squeeze in something extra, which you might not be able to do at your own institution, or because you're looking for the opportunity of the flexibility that our program offers. If you want to squeeze in an extra credit, but not necessarily do it in one semester, but stretch it out a little more than that. Like I said, you have 6 months, possibly 8 if you take an extension to complete the course. So you can work on this in a longer amount of time than you would in your term. So it gives you that flexibility. So that's another reason. But once you have earned the credit on your transcript at LSU, you can have your LSU transcript sent to your home institution and transfer the credit there. And it's up to your institution how that will count towards your program. So obviously you want to check with your advisor at your own institution to make sure that this course is going to work for you. But that's what most people in our program are doing. They're using their credit elsewhere because it's accredited and it transfers. Now, some students also use our credit for continuing education. One example is teachers. We often have teachers take our courses during the summertime. We actually have a math course, Math 1009, which is specifically geared towards elementary school teachers and the teaching of math. We also have a course in children's lit, as well as that microcred. We have child psych and adolescent psychology, which many teachers take. That's just one example. We have accounting professionals who already have their bachelor's degree. They're not looking to earn another degree. They're looking to qualify to sit for the CPA exam, which means they need to take some additional credits beyond their bachelor's degree. So that's another group that studies with us. So continuing education, professional development, we do have courses, even though they're college courses for credit, that might be applicable to you in your career. We have, for example, a lot of business courses. We have our marketing courses are very popular. People who find themselves maybe don't have a marketing degree, but find they've worked into a position where having a little marketing know-how helps them. We have a digital marketing course that's very popular. We also have a sports marketing program. Of course, LSU is known as a sports powerhouse, and the sports marketing course is sort of specialization area that people might not have had an opportunity to take, and they find it's something that may help them in the job. With technical writing is another course that people come back and take to help them in their job. So professional development. We have people who take our courses just to test the waters. They thinking about returning to college. Maybe they quit some time ago, or maybe they never started college. Maybe they think it's time. I want to get a degree now, but I want to see, I want to take it slow, or I want to see how it's going to work. That's another reason people take our courses. People in the military take our courses because, again, of the flexibility and the opportunity to spend a little more time on the course than normal and be on your own schedule, not stuck to the university's term schedule. And that flexibility really goes across all of those categories that I've just talked about. So those are some of the reasons why people take our courses and why you might be interested. So to close out, in summary, I'm going to just hit what we find are some frequently asked questions. What are the qualifications to be admitted to an ODL course? Again, You just have to be prepared to do college work. And if the course has a prerequisite, you should have that prerequisite. It's going to help you in the course. Can non-LSU students take an ODL course? Yes, by all means. You don't have to enroll. You don't have to apply to LSU. All you have to do is go to our website and register for the course. How do I make this course counted on my transcript? Once you finish the course and take your final exam and the instructor grades everything and marks you as complete, your course automatically uploads to the LSU registrar along with the grade, and the next day you're able to get a transcript from LSU, so you're all set. What semesters would this count towards and what are the deadlines? Well, the semester, if that makes a difference for you, goes according to LSU's regular calendar, and basically you need to have your final exam taken by the last day of that semester. And I don't have the dates in front of me exactly, but usually, for example, when we're past the summer, actually, usually around July 30th is the deadline. If you take your exam by July 30th, it will count as the summer term on your transcript. Usually it's late December to count to the fall, and then mid-May to get it to count for your spring semester. But that's something you can confirm with the learner specialist to make sure if you really need something to count for a specific semester at your own institution. Are credits transferable? Yes. As an accredited institution, most universities I mean, this is not an issue we ever have. Will accept transfer credit from LSU. Again, you're advised to check with your counselor at your institution if you're looking to do that. Just not so much to see if it's a transfer, because it almost certainly will. That's not absolute, but to make sure it'll transfer for what you need it to count as. Can I use financial aid? Unfortunately, our program is not set up to take financial aid. If you have financial aid that somehow gets paid directly to you, like a student loan, where you're able to use the funds to pay for the course, then obviously you can do it that way. But we can't take, unfortunately, payments directly through financial aid sources. If I enroll in the microcred, will that be reflected on my transcript? The individual courses will be on the transcript for credit. The microcredit itself will not. But again, we do issue a digital badge. The digital badge you can display on LinkedIn, Facebook, your own web page if you have one, if you have an electronic resume or something like that. So you do get that portable badge to verify your microcred, and the transcript to verify the individual courses. So that's the presentation today, and now we'll open it up to questions.
We do have a couple of really good questions, a few actually. So the first question that we got was, if you complete the accounting certificate, would those classes apply towards any overlap courses that could transfer into the master's in accounting program?
For the master's program, probably there are two advanced courses in the accounting certificate, and I'm not familiar with the master's degree intimately, but I think that those probably would count towards the Graduate students do take those two courses. They're the fraud accounting course and the government accounting course. But other than that, the other courses would not count for graduate credit. So that's 6 credits out of the total 15.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I think what's most important is to just check with your program and talk with them about these courses. We do get a lot of overlap, to be honest, with programs. So so yeah, I mean, I think it's a good possibility. So great. Our second question from Caitlin is, hello. Well, that's not the question. Sorry. Hello, Caitlin. For self-paced courses, if you finish a course in 4 weeks, that's just hypothetical, would you get your grade or transcript in 4 weeks, or would you have to wait until the end of the 6-month window to get the final grade? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. No, you do not have to wait. You will get, as soon as you've taken once you've taken your final exam and once the instructor has graded it and posted your final course grade, as soon as that instructor clicks that you've completed the course, which the instructor will normally do after grading the final exam, that will upload to the registrar's database that day. So yeah, it's when you've completed the course, it will show up in your transcript. You don't have to wait until the end of your 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of our students like about this type of course, is that it's so flexible in the way that, you know, you don't have to have, like, there's not a set time that you have to wait. And there's not a set deadline for submitting grades, which is an issue for, you know, a lot of campus courses or program courses, right? Awesome. So our third question is from Crystal, and she asks if there is a current discount for dual enrollment high school students.
No, our program has its own tuition and fees, which is separate, and we don't, unfortunately, we don't have any discounts like that.
But yeah, check out the webpage. I was going to say all of the fees should be listed there, right?
Yeah, the fees are all listed, and I will say that tuition in our program is actually a little bit cheaper than the regular tuition.
Pretty affordable, I think. And we do, and along the lines of the last question, there is a question about discount for military. Is there a veterans benefits apply to these?
Well, they can use their benefits. That's one area. We don't have a discount per se in that sense, but they can use their benefits, and we have a staff member who works specifically with the military personnel, so that if you needed to get assistance on that, we'll help you with that, and we'll work out so that you can use your benefits.
And we can pass these suggestions along to our team. We may, you know, be able to develop some different pay structures or discounts in the future. So these are all great ideas. So
let me just real quick, if I can interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch it over and show the tuition and fees page, since there was a question about that. So I don't know how well you can see this, since the table is a little, but basically a 3-credit course, once you add all we have several fees in addition to tuition that we have to charge as an LSU course. $866 is the total for a 3-credit course currently. So, and this page explains all the fees as well. So, So that's all pretty straightforward.
Great. Another person asks, will these courses help with your GPA?
Sure, if you do well, they'll get. I mean, again, you would need to transfer them, and it depends on how your own institution handles that. But if, for example, you were an LSU student taking one of our courses, it would get thrown in and added in just like the rest. So yeah, if you do well, it's going to bring your GPA up.
And I think we do have use case for that. I mean, I think there are quite a few students who...
Yeah, there are students who do. That's another reason they use our program. They take our course to try to edge up their GPA.
But not that our courses are easier, though. Let us just
no, they're
warn you about
not.
that.
It's not always a good plan. It just depends on, you know, there might be a course that will work for you for that we happen to offer. So.
And some people, you know, do a lot better at a self-paced online
Well, I think
course.
I think that's the thing. If you know, and sometimes they take the courses when they're sitting out from their regular degree program, whether that's the summer or taking a semester off or some kind of pandemic, maybe. Whatever the reason is, yeah, I mean, if some people, because they can work that at their own pace and have a little additional time, maybe take, you know, 5 months instead of 4 months or 6 months, it helps them get the better grade. So yeah.
Yeah. And we did have one question about, to sort of reiterate how long the classes are. So there's a couple of different lengths, right? So there's 6 months. Like how long they last.
Yeah, and I did forget to mention that there is one exception to that. But normally, all of our classes, with an exception, our classes run for 6 months from the day you register.
Our credit classes, classes.
Yeah, I'm talking only about credit classes, the college classes they're offered through online distance learning. The exception within credit are the construction management courses. They were developed in conjunction with LSU Online, which offers an online construction management degree. And so those courses actually do run in the semester. So if you signed up for one of our construction management courses, and we have 4 of them, then you would sit in the course during that term. For example, if it were the fall online term, the first fall term starts August 24th.
Next Monday.
Year. So it's next Monday, yeah. So that's when you would, if you had registered for a construction management course that's offered during that term, you would take it during that term. So that is an exception, and I apologize I didn't mention that earlier, but that's only 4 courses out of the more than 90 courses that we offer. Our basic program is self-paced, you get 6 months. And most of the courses, I would say, are broken into about 14 or 15 modules. It may be different depending on the course. Longer, we have some 4 and 5 credit courses, like calculus is 5 credits. So that's actually broken into more modules. The idea is to try to make it manageable. But you can figure a module is approximately a week's worth of coursework if you were taking the course on campus. It's not like a module is equal to 1 study session or 1 class session. It's actually the equivalent of taking a week of class or something like that, because you're going to cover the same amount of content, and you may actually have more in our online courses, you may have more resources offered to you. Some of them may be optional. You don't necessarily have to look at all the videos or websites or everything. It's just, you know, just follow the instructions in the course. But so I think I've answered that question.
Yeah, and we do offer extensions as well. There's
It's
the
2-month extension.
a 2-month extension.
And that's
so,
it. We're pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
We can't offer endless amount of time for a course. It is still a college course. We do still have accreditation restrictions and so forth. So.
Well, does anybody else have any questions? We've gone through most of them, or all of them, really. This is your last chance to type something in the Q&A for us. So, and I do want to point out that both Donald and I are instructors for these courses, for ODL courses. And so you'll get people like us, like real people, right, who are on the other side of the computer. So, and both of us have taught at the college level and do teach at the college level. So, you know, we're very familiar with teaching on campus and teaching face-to-face and teaching online. So, so another question about when the courses start. So I think we just need to emphasize that it's a rolling enrollment, right? An open rolling enrollment, so you can enroll at any time.
Right. So if you go to our website this afternoon and you sign up for English 1001, which is English composition, and you put that in your basket and you pay for it, today is your start date. You have 6 months from today to complete the course. So if you were thinking about maybe starting a course, you could do that. If you were planning ahead and thinking, well, you know, maybe I'd like to start something like this after Labor Day, then wait until Labor Day to register, because that's when your clock will start ticking. I mean, you can register today and not do any work until after Labor Day, but you just wasted those weeks. So that's the main thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to coordinate with, some people try to coordinate with campus semesters or regular semesters so that they can get their grades in at a specific time. You know, it's really up to you, however you want to structure that. But no, this isn't specifically for any subject area. It's for all of the subjects that Donald showed us earlier. So please do check out our website and take a look at all of those different options that you have. We happen to teach English, so it's not just for marketing, but yeah.
Yeah, but I will show again our online catalog so that people can see accounting. There's an art course. We have 3 biology courses, classical studies, construction management. We have 4 courses, communication studies. We have 4 econ courses, English. We've got 13 English courses.
Quite a few of those.
We have got a couple geography. We have 4 German courses. We have several history courses, ISDS, which is Information Systems and Decision Sciences. A couple of those, kinesiology, math. We have plenty of math courses if you need a math credit. Marketing, political science, psychology, sociology, and Spanish. So across the board, it doesn't really matter what your major is. If you need one of these courses to count for Gen Ed, or if you need one of these courses fit into your major, take a course and get the credit transferred.
Yeah, so we have another question, another good question about Zoom. Is it a Zoom type course? Like, will the courses be Zoom? So maybe a little bit of distinction between distance learning and,
No, our program, you're going to be working primarily in Moodle. and then in potentially in maybe a publisher's website or another third-party website. But because our courses are self-paced, not everybody is going to be working in them at the same time. So, you know, maybe I signed up for this course last month and I'm on module 3, and Erica signs up for it today and starts module 1. I mean, everybody, there may be 50 people in the course and everybody's at a different point. So that kind of program doesn't work too well with very much live contact. Now, let me backtrack a second and say that yes, if you have an opportunity to work with your instructor live in a live session, which is not typically required in our courses, but there may be a reason that you need some assistance from your instructor or something.
So I actually, I actually did this like a week and a half ago. I met with with a student through Zoom, so to talk about stuff, her paper, you know.
So in that case, you might have an individual session in Zoom, excuse me. Although, I mean, I've talked to people, I've talked to students just on the telephone too, or you might just do it through email or chat or something. That's between you and the instructor, and that's something that you would arrange with the instructor if you needed it. But as far as a regular, no, these are not using Zoom on any regular basis. They're using Moodle. You go in and log into Moodle when you're ready. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you feel like working on your course and you want to go log into Moodle and look at a video or see what exercises you need to do, you can do that. So
and that's not to say that your course won't have lecture videos or you know, videos that your instructor made for the course that has, you know, that person talking and you know, talking about the course materials. So it may not be a live video, but they, you know, we do have several courses with video content, and not just lecture content, but other kinds of videos, you know, that lots of multimedia, audio, you know, all kinds of stuff. So so it's basically like any other kind of online course. We just don't have any live synchronous sessions. So if that makes sense. And I have one more question about courses, but is there a specific question that you have about courses? I think we covered quite a bit about courses, and please do go to the website and look through our catalog if you're interested in that some more. We are recording this session as well. So if you want to look back on it and listen again to what we talked about, we do have several math courses, excuse me, in our catalog that are at several levels, right? Several different levels.
Yeah, we have, and I just put the link to our website in the chat if anybody wants that. So we have the Math 1009, which I mentioned, for mathematics for prospective elementary school teachers. We have college algebra, plane trigonometry, introduction to contemporary mathematics. We have calculus with business and economic applications. We have analytical geometry and calculus 1. We have analytical geometry and calculus 2, multidimensional calculus, linear algebra, elementary differential equations in linear algebra, and of course in probability. So
yeah, we have quite a math catalog.
That's 11 courses. We have 11 math courses, and they range from the 1,000 level to the 3,000 level. And at LSU, the numbering is just, we use thousands, but you know, 1,000 levels basically freshmen or introductory, 2,000 level is a sophomore level class, 3,000 is junior, 4,000 senior, and graduate.
And as far as transferring, I mean, the numbers may be different where you go to school or
Right.
somewhere else, but as long as the content is approved by your department, then that should be fine for transfer. I mean, we can't promise that every course will transfer into your program, but that's something that you would just have to talk to them about. But okay, so I guess if there's no more questions about the material, then we can go ahead and wrap up. We'll send out a follow-up email and include that recording so that you can go back and listen to this if you want. And we'll include the link to the website, and you can take a look at all of the courses on there. Each listing on there has all of the information about the course and things that you might need to know to, when you sign up, all the fees associated and some information about the course topics. So you should find a lot of good information in there. Donald, you want to sign off?
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us, and I hope that at least proved helpful to you in terms of knowing what we do, and I hope maybe you found something that'll bring you to our program. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.